A man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild, but whether cultivated or neglected, it must, and will, bring forth. If no useful seeds are put into it, then an abundance of useless weed seeds will fall therein, and will continue to produce their kind. Self-control is strength. Right thought is mastery. Calmness is power. A strong man cannot help a weaker unless the weaker is willing to be helped, and even then the weak man must become strong of himself. He must, by his own efforts, develop the strength which he admires in another. None but himself can alter his condition. The outer conditions of a person's life will always be found to be harmoniously related to his inner state. Men do not attract that which they want, but that which they are. As he thinks, so he is. As he continues to think, so he remains. A man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of all his thoughts. A person is limited only by the thoughts that he chooses. The more tranquil a man becomes, the greater is his success, his influence, his power for good. Calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. Men are anxious to improve their circumstances, but are unwilling to improve themselves. You are today where your thoughts have brought you. You will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. Circumstance does not make the man. It reveals him to himself. He who would accomplish little needs sacrifice little. He who would achieve much must sacrifice much. He who would attain highly must sacrifice greatly. Do not dwell upon the sins and mistakes of yesterday so exclusively as to have no energy and mind left for living rightly today, and do not think that the sins of yesterday can prevent you from living purely today. As a man thinketh in his heart, so shall he be. The world steps aside for the man who knows where he is going. To desire is to obtain, to aspire is to achieve. All that a man achieves, and all that he fails to achieve, is the direct result of his own thoughts. The law of harvest is to reap more than you sow. Sow an act, and you reap a habit. Sow a habit, and you reap a character. Sow a character, and you reap a destiny. Man is made or unmade by himself. By the right choice he ascends. As a being of power, intelligence, and love, and the lord of his own thoughts, he holds the key to every situation. The body is the servant of the mind. It obeys the operations of the mind, whether they be deliberately chosen or automatically expressed. Dream lofty dreams, and as you dream, so shall you become. Your vision is the promise of what you shall one day be. Your ideal is the prophecy of what you shall at last unveil. Suffering is always the effect of wrong thought in some direction. It is an indication that the individual is out of harmony with himself, with the law of his being. A man can only rise, conquer, and achieve by lifting up his thoughts. Work joyfully and peacefully, knowing that right thoughts and right efforts inevitably bring about right results. For you will always gravitate toward that which you, secretly, most love. The circumstances which a man encounters with suffering are the result of his own mental inharmony. The soul attracts that which it secretly harbors, that which it loves, and also that which it fears. Act is the blossom of thought, and joy and suffering are its fruits. Thus does a man garner in the sweet and bitter fruitage of his own husbandry. The man who thinks hateful thoughts brings hatred upon himself. The man who thinks loving thoughts is loved. Let a man radically alter his thoughts, and he will be astonished at the rapid transformation it will effect in the material conditions of his life. No man is hindered by another. He is only hindered by himself. No man suffers because of another. He suffers only because of himself.